Guys, in this video I will talk about PFS cure, PSSD cure, PAS cure. I will talk about some case studies, okay? So I will not use the names, but I will tell you about experience working with that type of clients, okay? So I will give you news about post-FINASTERIDE syndrome recovery protocol for 2025. Okay, so I will tell you a lot of from praxis working with students. Okay, I don't like to talk a lot about myself, but I am like you. Okay, so I have really bad experience with uh, finasteride, minoxidil, ketoconazole, SSRIs, okay, sulfonylurea, all these kind of things, ashwagandha, okay, so I even used lion's mane. I don't think I had many bad effects from lion's mane because it's also a little bit different because you have several active ingredients and always it depends on ingredients. Even with ashwagandha, there are extract, for example, they are much stronger, okay, than like if you just take ashwagandha root and for example you take ashwagandha root, you have no issue, and you take specific extract and you have issues, okay. So honestly, even topical dutasteride can cause a lot of issues, okay. So guys, don't forget that it's not just only finasteride, okay, and so on. First of all, there are many coaches that are putting together uh, all these things, okay, so like post-Accutane syndrome, okay, PSSD, okay, post-sexual, uh, post-SSRI sexual dysfunction, okay, so post-finasteride syndrome. Honestly, there are some common things, but all are different, yeah, so even guys, there is no just one protocol, okay, so you can use other coaches. I will add coaches that are working with these issues, okay, so or they have videos on that, okay, so I will add them into the description, okay. So if you want to work with me, you will find more details in the description. I think every guy should have own protocol, okay, so and I will explain you shortly, okay. I will also tell you about, in this video I will also tell you about current approaches, okay, also what other guys are recommending. I will tell you what is working, what not, and why is this not working, and what you can do about, okay. So I spent a lot of time. I even created for my clients PFS recovery guide where I go really in details for erectile dysfunction, when I go really in details for mental health, brain fog, and so on, okay, because there is always I work with PFS guys that have like mental issue, okay, the other type they have ED, okay, so also PSSD, okay, there can be also anhedonia and so on. PAS, okay, there can be problem with dopamine and so on. So every guy is different, and even girls, because also girls are affected the same way, okay, so they have problems, sexual dysfunctions, dopamine issue, glutamate overload, and all these kind of things, okay. But what you need to understand, okay, so we are talking about blocking 5-alpha reductase activity, okay. In PSSD we are talking about 5-HTA1 receptors, okay, so it's right now it is already different to PFS, okay, post-finasteride syndrome, because you have these the sensitized serotonin receptors, okay, and normally in PFS you don't have this, okay. So in PSSD you have sometimes very high prolactin that is causing negative effect on dopamine, on steroidogenesis, okay. So production of your own androgens is blocked due to high prolactin, okay. So and high prolactin is also blocking 5-alpha reductase enzyme. In PFS, guys, okay, in PFS, 5-alpha reductase is blocked by finasteride directly, like 30 to 70%, okay. If you are using dutasteride, even more, okay, I don't know, 90, 80%, okay. So also right now there is another major dysfunction is called post-aromatase inhibitor major dysfunction, okay. I already work with some guys with that, okay. So if you are using huge doses of AIs and you don't know how to properly manage your estradiol, you can crash the estradiol, okay, and you will have a lot of problems. Joint pain, okay, so low libido, similar to like high estradiol, okay. So but high estradiol is more likely causing ED. The low estradiol will cause loss of libido, pain in joints, okay, so and so on, okay. Okay, so let me talk about experience with clients, okay. So why some clients are not seeing results, okay. So let's be honest, some guys are not patient enough, okay. So for example, if you have fibrotic tissue because of the PSSD or PFS, it takes up to 12 months, okay, to really improve the penile tissue health, okay. So you cannot expect changes in like 1 month, and sometimes you need uh, different angles where you approach this issue, like even like fibrosis, okay. So you need to increase DHT, okay. You probably need to use supplements that works against fibrosis, okay, so that will heal the fibrosis, okay. On top of that, probably you will use things like radio frequency, okay, that can help with collagen recomposition, okay. So and also maybe you can use PDE5 inhibitors, but you also need to know how to cycle everything, okay. So even many guys that I try to fix the things, okay, they tell me that, for example, PDE5 inhibitor, they stop working, okay. So yeah, so have you looked at the other things, oxidative stress, inflammation, for example, your vitamin C level, BH4, even many guys, they don't understand that after some times you can create tolerance, and with PDE5 you really have tolerance. Honestly, I don't know the exact mechanism. Some of them, they try to tell me that that the PDE5 enzyme will increase, so you need to take higher higher dosage, okay, to be efficient. In my opinion, the PDE5 enzyme will decrease to some extent where the PDE5 inhibitors has no effect at all, okay. And also it makes no sense if you don't have enough of nitric oxide synthase to block something, okay, because you don't have this end product, okay. If you have a lot of inflammation from serotonin, excess serotonin, if you have a lot of inflammation from finasteride, because you will do, okay, there are many guys with neuroinflammation and so on, okay. So you will negatively affect steroid genesis, okay, neurosteroid genesis, and even ED, okay. So the problem why some guys are not recovering, because, for example, they're so fast, okay. So they are using also other things, okay. So like I said, you are PFS guy, and you go to the doctor, and doctor will give you SSRIs, okay. So you have already two problems, okay. So two problems you need to deal with, okay, and this will a little bit slow the process, okay. So I'm not telling that it's not impossible to cure something like that, but it will take time, okay. I'm not telling that I am almighty. Like I said, I will put in the description other coaches, you can watch their videos and so on, okay. So I have a lot of experience, many positive feedbacks, but like I said, I'm also not almighty. I'm someone like you that already have all of these experiences, and I was able to fix my things, okay. So my only issue right now is short-term memory, okay. So honestly, I didn't do much to fix it, okay, because I just live my life. I am feeling quite well, okay. So yeah. Also, there are clients, okay. So after working with so many clients, I already see some patterns in blood tests, okay. So my last client recently, a really great guy, he's recovering slowly, okay, but recovering after, for example, 7 months, okay. So 7 months, yeah. And the problem was there was still something, okay. So and I took a look at the blood test, and I have seen that this guy was taking Accutane, okay? I have another client, the same. He was taking Accutane like maybe 10 years ago, and I could see it in blood test, okay? So this guy had already two issues, okay? So Accutane, and Accutane is also affecting B vitamins, okay? Level of B12 at least, okay? So it's affecting dopamine, okay? Dopamine, we need dopamine to start erection, so the reward system in PAS is affected, okay? So if you have things like PFS, PAS, okay, so you have already two issues, okay? So it's not the same. Okay, for one guy, he came to me with some erectile issue, okay? He was not a PFS guy or something, and I talked to him. We have tried to find the root cause for these issues, and we have found out, for example, that he is using topical dutasteride, and once he stopped that, his ED improved. I gave him some anti-LOX things to decrease inflammation, to boost enos, okay, and so on, to boost DHT slightly, okay, because you really don't need some really extreme boost of DHT, okay, so it can be counterproductive, okay, so, and this guy recovered after 1 month, okay, so everyone is different. This guy, for example, I'll give you one tip. This guy, his IGF-1 was high, okay, so IGF-1 supports the 5-alpha reductase activity, okay, so there are also many things that support 5-alpha reductase activity, okay, so I will talk also about other clients, okay, so I see many times that guys are like using extreme dosages of HCG, okay, and in many guys I see it raises your estradiol through the roof, okay, so, and they do no management, okay, so about it, okay, so you really need to be careful about estradiol management, okay, but if you have high estradiol, how will you fix your erection, okay? If your estradiol is 60, or I don't know, I have seen even craziest number, 150 picogram per milliliter, okay? This is not how it works. There is like golden range where your estradiol should be, okay? For some guys, even 40 picogram per milliliter is quite okay, okay? If the ratio testosterone estradiol is okay, but like I said, even if estradiol is too high, can affect the receptors, okay? It's similar like too much DHT, too much testosterone, and so on. Like too much testosterone, exogenous testosterone will suppress you, okay? So like if you are using Boldenon, the same, okay, it will suppress you. Okay, low dose DHT will, for example, like Proviron, will not suppress you, but you really need to use a low dose, okay, of DHT. Okay, so some guys they start to, my clients, they start to take something without doing proper blood test first, okay, and they maybe even have a quite good hormonal balance, okay. For example, they would just need to fix 5-alpha reductase enzyme, okay, because I work with many clients that have a really nice hormonal balance, okay, so testosterone is quite high, okay, so testosterone is quite high, so they have the substrate for DHT, okay, but for example, the only problem is 5-alpha reductase activity is low. They just need to boost, okay, because if I take a look at the Dutch test, I see the 5-alpha reductase activity is low, for example, cortisol is high, and so on. And you just need to boost 5-alpha reductase activity and things start working again, okay? So you need to take this in account, okay? So do test, okay? Do blood tests for thyroids, for CRP, you know, all these inflammation like EL6, okay, CRP. There are studies, for example, okay, that high EL6, high CRP can contribute to inhibition of 5-alpha reductase enzyme, and many PSSD clients have a lot of inflammation, okay, so look, if you want to fix something, okay, if you want to have higher DHT, and if you don't fix the root cause, it's like putting foot on gas and brake, okay, and expecting that something will change, okay. So I'm telling you, before you decide to start something, bolden on DHEA supplementation, progesterone, everything, okay, so do test first, okay. So progesterone is generally not good from my point of view, okay, so it will work against your sexual activity, okay. So another things, okay, so like I said, for example, one of my client, he really have been used a lot of boldenone, okay, super high doses. His SHBG went really way too down, okay. So another clients, they are blasting their system with like testosterone, boldenone and HCG without proper estradiol management, and so they have super high estradiol, and it works against 5-alpha reductase, okay, can increase prolactin and so on, okay. So guys, even if I have seen also other guys, they have high prolactin. If you will not fix prolactin, your dopamine will suffer, okay. So I will give you also some practical tips at the end, but like I said, even liver, okay, so liver is good for detoxifying. Estradiol liver is where uh, if liver is also responsible for proper level of SHBG, so we need all of that, okay. So you can do blood test, comprehensive blood test with hormones and also inflammation, liver enzymes and so on. Then you can do oath, okay, you can do stool test, you can do complete Dutch test, okay, if you really want to know what's going on. At the end, I will also talk about one interesting things about androgen receptors, because this is a big topic, okay. So there is a lot of I think bad information, okay. So I will give you really good insights, okay. So stay with me till the end, okay. So like I said, don't assume that you need to lower something. Do proper blood test, and if there is a one coach that will work with you without seeing your results, and he will tell you to use boldenone or I don't know proviron or something without looking at your blood test and your test in general, okay, fire this guy, yeah. So okay, so what I have seen recently based on a blood test of my clients, okay, so I have seen that many, for example, PFS guys, or even guys that have low androgens, guys like PSSD, okay, they have low vitamin D, especially 25-OH vitamin D. It's really low, and sometimes fixing this can increase steroidogenesis, so it will increase your androgens, okay, so guys, so it's really crucial. Sometimes supplementation will not help. You need to add bile support, okay, so and you need to support certain enzymes in order to make this conversion from vitamin D, I don't know how it's called, okay, to 25-OH vitamin D, okay. So fibrosis, a Peyronie disease, okay, so many guys I work with have really bad fibrosis and Peyronie disease. So you can take Cialis, tadalafil, Viagra, okay. So over the time it will make your fibrosis worse, okay. It's not helping to reduce fibrotic tissue in your penile tissue, okay. It's not helping with Peyronie, okay. There are really things like traction, like radio frequency, many great supplements, okay, that are addressing these issues, like high doses Alcar, and then you use on top of that antioxidants, okay. So even there is medication that together with other things like Alcar, antioxidants, can do wonder, but you really need to have a time for that. It's like 6 to 12 months, okay. And because if you have a lot of fibrotic tissue, and many PSSD guys, they have these issues, okay, so you will have problem even if you are using high doses of Viagra, Cialis, Tadalafil. Okay, so inflammation is causing mostly brain fog. Okay, so neuroinflammation, like I told you already in other videos, you can check with IL-8. Okay, IL-8. You can choose. You can check neuroinflammation. Okay, so it's mostly connected with brain fog. I already told you in my other videos that I was using taxifolene. Some guys can fix it with sodium valproate. Sodium valproate is really harsh. It's not something funny, okay? So I would rather prefer natural methods first, and if someone will tell you this is not working, it is working, okay? So just one thing, okay, taxifolene can slightly decrease 5-alpha reductase activity, but if you have other things that are supporting 5-alpha reductase, then you don't need to worry that much, okay? So I was using, for example, taxifolene. I have some other guys that have great relief from brain fog just from taxifolene, okay? So you can also blast sodium valproate. Guys, you really need to know how to do it, okay? So many guys, many coaches, they tell you only the one thing, okay? And they will not tell you the second, okay? So they will tell you that maybe you will improve this, but they will not tell you about side effect and what you should watch out, okay? So like high doses SAG, watch out for estradiol, okay? Valproate, it can has also many negative effects, okay? So it's really powerful medication. You need to titrate slowly, okay? And also it takes time, okay? So at least 2-4 months, okay? So if you want to spend 2-4 months with valproate, okay, it's your choice, okay? But you need to really know how to do everything, okay? So if you need my help, you will find the link in the description. Another tip, valproate goes pretty well together with butyrate, okay? Because if you have all these gut issues from valproate, butyrate can't help, okay? So butyrate is also not useless. It's also strong natural HDAC inhibitor. So for many guys, okay, maybe it's not working, but I have seen many guys using valproate, okay? And they probably fix only brain fog, nothing else, okay? Brain fog. I see also many guys using valproate and they didn't fix anything, okay? Because this topic is extremely individual, okay? So guys, I have guide that is looking at different angles, okay? So, but generally, it would be really good to do test first in order to understand what's your problem, okay? Because you can have several problems, okay? So I will also talk about okay, I will also talk about DNA methylation, okay? So and how it affects androgen receptors, okay? So like I said, you really need to understand that probably you won't fix your androgen receptor silencing, and I will explain shortly with boldenone, okay, or DHT. I will show you what you can do. So we are talking about DNA methylation, and I will also show you how you can find out, okay, if you have androgen receptors issue, okay. So let me jump to this, okay. I will also tell you why, for example, IgA1 will not work, or proviron, boldenone, and so on, okay? So some guys have this androgen receptor silencing desensitization, okay? So